Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to our live webinar. Yes, this is live, not recorded live, actual live. Yep, this is me. It is March 14th, 2024. I'm so glad you're here. I am inviting other people in. Janine, if you're around, make sure you pop in. Sam as well. Also, let us know. You can let us know on the, let me just remove that. Hold on, a little tech issue going on here. All right, let us know in the chat where you're coming in from. Love to know where you're coming from. And we're going live right now. Looks like we're on YouTube. Looks like we're also on X. So welcome. I'm about to bring our friends on Clubhouse into the conversation as well. Why don't we want to leave the poor people on Clubhouse out? We don't want to leave them out. We'll invite you guys to. Everybody is welcome. There's no discrimination here. We even like the people on Clubhouse. As a matter of fact, I was on Clubhouse for a long time. So let me just put this on here. So I'm going to drop the link. Excellent. Well, listen, we're here today. Do me a favor while we're waiting. I would like to know where you're coming in from. So in the chat, just drop where you're coming in from. We want to know. Curious minds want to know where you are coming in from. So I'm over here. We got Boston, Mass in the house. What else do we have in the house? By the way, we're going to open it up too. If anybody wants to come up and get in the conversation, you are welcome to do that as well. Just raise your hand or join the request access. What I'll do is I'll drop the link in the chat for you, and then you can request access. Let me do that right now. And we're going to get started. Well, we are technically started, but we're going to get into content in about a minute or so. So by the way, if you're on Clubhouse, I dropped the stream link on the top. If you click on that link on stream, you can join us on the stream. You can watch live on YouTube or X. And then if you're there, you actually can request to come in to the conversation with me. So if you want to get in the conversation, you have some questions at the end, I'm going to be opening it up for questions. Also, I'm going to drop the link here. There's a link I just dropped in the chat. You see that? It says StreamYard.com, UDGC, whatever. That right there, if you click on that, you will come into the waiting room. And then when we go to Q&A, I can actually invite you in to the conversation. How does that sound? I hope it sounds great. I want to see more work on the chat. Please, again, let us know where you're coming in from. That will be super awesome. Let me see. I'm not sure what is this, but let me send this off. Okay, while people are popping on, great. We have more and more people are popping on. Okay, good. You know what? We said probably about 45 minutes for this webinar. So share my slides and just get you guys right into it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to start here today. All right. Today, this is about, holy cow, I just realized I started the wrong webinar. This is beautiful. This is funny. I started the wrong webinar or stream. It says Bitcoin Explained Insights from Gary Cardone. All right. So yeah, that's not correct. This is the wrong one. Gosh. All right. That's probably why we had some tech issues. So what I need to do is try to figure out if I can change the title. Let me see. Okay. This is real estate. This was a mistake. All right. You gotta love it. All right. Double your income with listings. All right. Man, you gotta love it. You know what? This is why we're having tech issues, because I am in the wrong space. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I've got no choice but to do this. Gene, I'm going to shut it down, and I've got to open the right room because we're going to probably have a lot of people going to the wrong room, is what I'm guessing. Or what we could do, Sam, if I drop the link in the chat, if you want to just send that link to everybody, Sam, why don't we do that? Janine, we're thinking, right? See, this is what we got to do. Sometimes you just got to do it on the fly. You got to figure it out. So I opened the wrong room. This is my fault. I take full responsibility. I had 4 rooms scheduled, and I opened the wrong one. So I think the best thing to do now is we'll just send everybody that's waiting the link that's here in the chat. So Janine, you have that. Sam, you have that. Do me a favor. Let's get everybody that link. All right. Welcome, my friends. Welcome, welcome. All right. Here we are today. Real estate, double your income with listings. If you came here for Bitcoin, I apologize. We will be back next week with Gary Cardone live. Yes, he'll be here with us live, and we'll be in that conversation. But today, we're talking about real estate and how to double your income with listings. And listings are the name of the game, my friends. And when it comes to listings, that's how you dominate the market. When you have listings are leverage, right? Like when you have listings, what happens is other people have to come to you. The other agents have to come to you. Okay, the buyers come to you. They call you. The other people in the neighborhood said, hey, wow, David, you sold the listing on our street. How did you do that? And then they come to you. Listings are the leverage in the real estate business. And when you have listings, you are in control. I want you to write that down. It's probably the most important thing you need to take from this webinar today is that listings are leverage. All right. One of the quotes I live by is this quote from Zig Ziglar that says, when you help enough people get what they want, you will end up with whatever it is that you want. So I want you to think about that in everything that you do. A little bit of information about me, 35 years in outbound sales. All right. 20 years in the real estate space. I spent 12 years as an instructor for Keller Williams as well as eXp Realty. I'm also certified with Cardone 10X, Cardone University certification, as well as the Success brand, coaching brand, and author of 2 books. Most important, though, I'm a father. I've got 3 amazing daughters, a beautiful wife, 3 granddaughters, and man, I'm just blessed. And my podcast is called Path to Mastery. If you listen to podcasts, if you're a podcaster, hey, do me a favor. Somebody drop something. Man, I'm feeling like I'm all alone here. Can someone drop something in the chat just so I know we have other people even listening, paying attention? Can you drop something in the chat for us? All right, good. So, okay, so I see someone said we're here. Great. I love it. All right. Don't forget about my podcast. Don't sleep on it. It's called Path to Mastery. I believe we just released episode 272. We've had so many great guests. Grant Cardone, Gary V, Mel Robbins, Brian Tracy, James Alter. So many amazing guests. Reagan Hillier. So many big name guests. Next week, by the way, for you guys that are in the Bitcoin space, like you're huge fans like me, we have Gary Cardone on that's going to talk to us about Bitcoin. And that's Grant's twin brother. So excited about that coming next week. All right. How I got started in real estate. I get this question all the time. So one night, my daughter, Jacqueline, this is 21 years ago, came home and said, you know what, Dad, Mom's friend Sue makes a lot of money selling homes. You should get your real estate license. And my first thought was like, well, am I not making enough money for you? But, I guess there's never enough, right? When it comes to, you can always get more, but that's not really what she was saying. But anyway, I didn't think much of it. Next morning, my friends, I woke up and it was on my mind to get my real estate license. I went, I started the course. 5 months later, I got licensed and I joined a real estate team. And I just remember the team owner, he called me and he says, I want you to be at my office on a Sunday morning, and I want you to bring all the real estate sections with you from the local newspapers. I went out, I collected all the real estate sections, like the Boston Globe, the Herald, the Metro West News, all the local papers, all the ones I could find, right? The Telegram, which was our local paper. And I got the real estate sections out. Remember the old real estate sections? They may still have them. I don't know, but that's not where I go anymore. But and then what he did was he showed us how to highlight, like we highlighted with a highlighter, all the for sale by owner ads. And then we cut the little for sale by owner ads and we taped them to the top of an index card like this. This was our system back then. This was the system we used to do FSBOs, to for sale by owners. And then he gave us all a script, similar to this. He gave us a script, and then we all went into the conference room and we practiced the script over and over. And I still remember the script to this day. Some of you guys may know this script. Some of you may still use the script. It's, hey, I'm with ABC Company. When are you going to hire the right agent for the job to sell your home? Man, it's kind of an aggressive script. I know. I got hung up on, I'll tell you, I got hung up on probably like 3 times before somebody was actually somewhat polite to me. It was like, I'm all set. I have an agent if I'm going to use somebody. So I said, okay, well, this isn't working so great. So, but on the next call now, what I did was I switched it up a little bit. So instead of saying, when are you going to hire the right agent for the job? You know, I had some experience in sales, right? So I kind of used a similar script I used in publishing, which is, hey, we publish a magazine. We reach community management companies and blah, 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 and condo board members. Would you be open to, getting your message in front of those people? So I said, you know what, I'm going to try something different. So I used a similar script with the for sale by owner. So I says, hi, my name's David Hill. I literally just got my real estate license. I'm not sure why I said that. I probably shouldn't have said that, but I did say that. And I'm just wondering, would you be open to using a realtor to sell your house? And the person said, maybe. And I was like, okay, what do I say? And Steve grabbed the phone out of my hand and we closed for our first appointment. Imagine that. I switched up the script a little bit. And then we went on the appointment the next day. And at the end of the appointment, Steve was a good guy, but he was like kind of really like a monotone type dude. He had a flip chart and he's going through the chart and explaining it. And then at the end, he asked the lady whatever his close was. I don't remember his close back then, but we left without the listing. We did not get the listing. I called the lady the next day. She didn't respond. I called her the next day after that. She didn't respond. She ghosted us, never responded again. And that was my experience with my first listing experience appointment. It didn't go well. And then, we ended up taking a couple listings, but, a couple months later, it was like 4 months later, I was on Steve's team and I was just thinking, you know what, there's gotta be a better way to do this. It's just not, between the aggressive scripts, the index cards. I says, there's gotta be a better way of doing this, So I ended up leaving Steve's team and, 20 years later, after tens of thousands of phone calls and literally $250,000 spent on myself in different courses and training and teaching for Keller Williams all those years and taking thousands of listings and selling 1,100 homes. I took Steve's process of index cards, right? Antiquated index cards, to a system where every day I get emailed the new leads. All I have to do is open my email and I got the newest leads. By the way, there's a dialer that I can just press a button and call them. From the index cards to that, from a stuttering, aggressive cold call script to a way to ask people questions with a word track that builds trust with people. And from just rejection and disappointment and really not knowing where my next piece of business was going to come from to people calling me now and saying, David, we're thinking about selling our house. You think you could help? I'm like, yeah, you might be able to help. And the reason I share this story is because I believe that if I can do this, you certainly can do this. I'm no brain surgeon. So if I can do this, I promise you, you can do this as well. In the next 20 minutes or so, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Now, I'd love to see in the chat, let us know where you're coming in from. I see we have Boston in the house. We have Kansas City, Missouri in the house. We have Parksville, Missouri. Come on, we got a lot more people on here. Let's see in the chat. I want you to drop where you're coming in from. We want to know. Now, I also want to let you know next week on the 18th, we are doing an 8-day listings challenge. Okay, this is an opportunity to get together and spend 8 days with me and a group of real estate agents around the country and focus on a different type of seller listing every day. Every day, there's going to be a 60-minute, a 90-minute group training session. Okay, there's going to be a role play session in the afternoon, where a group of us get on Zoom together. You're going to have a training video. There's a quiz. This is a phenomenal opportunity. I'm going to talk to you guys again a little more about it at the end, but I want to let you know that at the end, there's an opportunity to join us next week for an 8-day journey in getting listings. The intention for everybody going through this is to at least walk away with one listing signed, which is why we're doing it before the spring market. Walk away with one listing signed, but more important than that listing signed is a pipeline of people that you filled because you've been in action every day for 8 days with us as a group. So, and also we're giving you a 30-day access to our real estate listings club, which is unbelievable. So at the end, there's an opportunity now. If you're like, hey, David, I already know I want to do this, scan that QR code. Sam will drop the link in the chat. You can sign up right now. But if you still want it, if you need more information, great. Reach out to me, Janine. Just watch the webinar. At the end of the webinar, you'll have another opportunity to take advantage of that as well. All right. First thing I want to talk about today is you. Number one, it all starts with you. It starts with you becoming confident in yourself, in your ability to take listings, in the way you show up. Because we were talking about this both yesterday and this morning. People will pick up on your level of confidence. Like if you show up and you're convicted, like you truly believe, like to me, this is that belief where, like when I was selling real estate at full time, this was the only way I made money. I didn't have and I made a lot of money doing it. When I showed up to somebody's house, they would sometimes be interviewing 2, 3, 4 other realtors, and 80% of the time I would get the listing. And why? Because I believed in myself. I believed in what I did. I believed in my process. I believed in my team. I was sold on myself. That's why I truly say anybody, whenever somebody joins my team or came with us, I would say the first thing we got to do is we got to get you sold on yourself. You are the most important piece here. You are going to either make yourself, you're going to kill it, or you are going to be the responsible for you crushing it. But it all starts with you first. I just love to start any talk with that because I feel like it's so important. And you have to believe in yourself. And it's not, and also your company, the company you're with. You have to believe in the company you're with. And I think every company's great. The best company, the best one? Anybody, you guys want to guess the best company? Is the one that you believe in. Okay, I'm not going to tell you any brand's better than the other because I've been to 2 brands and I think they're both great brands. But at the end of the day, people aren't hiring you because of your brand. Well, that's not 100% true. I would say 90% of the time, people are not hiring you because of your brand. They're hiring you because of who you are and how you show up and how you make them feel and how much confidence you give them. All right. So I want to talk to you today. Number one is going to be our approach. I want you to, the way you approach and list motivated sellers, it starts with being listings focused. Now, here's the cool thing. You may have an area. I don't know how many people are in your area. Maybe you have a farm of 1,000 homes in your area. Wouldn't it be nice if you woke up in the morning and there was like a system that told you, hey, this red house at 426 Main Street. They're ready to list. Go over there. Right? Wouldn't that be easy? That'd be great, right? Like you guys be like, wow, that'd be amazing. Well, you know what? There actually is a system like that. There actually is. It's called this thing, the telephone. It's called Vulcan. It's called getting emails every morning with all the new expireds, all the new for sale by owners. Okay, it's called being the mayor of your area. Okay, doing events in the neighborhood. It's called circle prospecting, right? It's you showing up everywhere in the area. And what ends up happening is when you do that enough, you start to know who's going to be doing things before everybody else in the area does. So you need the right approach. And this is one of the cool things about the challenge that's happening next week is we're going to share 5 different approaches with you. In each approach, we're going to give you what to say. We're going to give you the word track. We're going to give you a tool that's going to help you be more effective with that approach. And then we're going to practice the approach live. And then you're going to go out and you're going to actually do the approach and then come back the next day. And then we're going to get feedback. And you're going to tell us what worked and what didn't work. And then we're going to make adjustments. So you need to have market knowledge. You want to be effective in real estate, you need to be the expert. Market knowledge is what I'm talking about. I want you to know more about your market than anybody else in your market. That's going to be the key to your success. Because when people meet with multiple people, they want to know that you have the information. I'll tell you, a great way to win with someone is tell them something they don't already know. Right now, in the age of the internet, and you know what I'm talking about, in the age of the internet, most people believe they know more than you do. You're meeting with people that think they know more than you because they have access to the internet. If you can tell them something they don't know, you'll win every single time. All right. Sold on your company. I already talked about that. Okay. You got to be sold on your company. You have to believe that your company's the best. Okay. I'm not telling, again, this is not me saying, hey, there's a company that's better than the next company, because I don't necessarily believe that. But what I do believe is you need to be sold on your company, whatever it is. Okay, whatever company you're with, I want you to believe that it is the absolute best company out there. All right, hold on. I just got to do one quick thing here. Let me just see. So by the way, I see we got a bunch of people on Clubhouse. So if you're on Clubhouse, I am actually dropping a link so you can join us. Okay. You can join us on the Zoom, because at the end, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to let some people come up, ask some questions. We'll do a live role play. Sometimes you guys want to test me out and see if it's all talk or I can actually do what I say. So I love when we bring some live people up and do some role play. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to spend the last 15, 20 minutes on that. Now, the next one is listing options. There's no more just, hey, one trick pony. I'm going to show you. I'm holding a letter right here. Let me stop sharing my screen right now. This is a letter I got from, see that? Open Door. Open Door sent me this letter. You know what? Open Door is sending these letters to your clients too. So what are you going to do? You're going to fight Open Door? No, of course not. You none of us on this call can win. My muscles aren't big enough to beat Open Door. They're like the 800-pound gorilla. So what do? I don't have to beat them. I just do what I copy them, but I do it better, right? So if Open Door is going to give you an offer and you can sell your house without putting it on the market, we can do the same thing. We'll do that for you, no problem. Oh, you want a guaranteed sale because some other realtor's doing a guaranteed sale? We can do that too, no problem. So what you need is you need to have 4 to 5 different listing options, so that when you meet with somebody, they don't have to go anywhere else, my friends. Like, this is how you set yourself up. On the challenge next week, we're going to be sharing all those different options with the people that are in our challenge. The next thing is success stories. You want to use success stories. All right. Forget about the scripts, and trust me, I've been a scripts guy. A lot of you may know me as a guy that did scripts. I did it for a long time. I still do it. But at the end of the day, scripts are just telling me what to say when I need to say it. But stories are actually what connect me with people. Stories are what sell. And I share success stories. Now, if you don't have your own success stories yet, then you want to find someone else that has a success story that you can share. Another thing that's going to make you super successful as a listing agent is testimonials. Getting those testimonials, having a lot of testimonials, what other people say about you. People believe. If I say all this great things about me, you're like, yeah, he's just saying it. He wants to try to sell me something. He wants to try to sell me his challenge, whatever. But when other people are saying things, you're like, oh, wow, really? Okay. So success stories, testimonials, accountability. We all need accountability. Okay, right now I have 2 coaches. I'm about to have 3 coaches because I'm about to sign up for my next Ironman coming up in October, the end of September, October, which gives me 6 months of training. I don't do it on my own. I want somebody to keep me accountable. Why? Because it's easy for me to just not do what I'm supposed to do. But when somebody else is keeping me accountable, I do what I'm supposed to do. Okay. I have somebody every day. I have to say, Janine knows because Janine and I work together. I send somebody every day at 6 o'clock, between 6 and 7 p.m. I have to send him exactly how many sales I closed and how much money I brought in every single day. I have to do that every day. I have to tell him what time I woke up in the morning. Okay. Did I ignore I hardly ever ignore my alarm. I'd lie if I say I never. It's 100% because it's not 100%, but it's definitely more than 90% of the time, but those are the types of things I'm held accountable on. Okay. And in community is critical. Being in the right community with the right group of people that are helping you succeed. Okay. Not people that are struggling. Okay. Not people that are telling you things aren't working. It's terrible out there. It's so hard. Oh, there's no listings. There's no inventory. Nobody wants to do anything. The interest rates, the inflation. Yeah. All that stuff. Listen, there's that. But do you want to focus on that? Right? Do you want to focus on that? Or would you rather focus on something positive that's going to help you move forward? That's what I want to focus. I want to focus on something that's positive, that's going to help me move forward. All right, number 2. I spent a lot of time on that, I know. Number 2, we're going to get you into some hard questions. Hold on one second. When I say hard questions, I'm talking about the things that keep people up at night. Like the things that are in the middle of the night, they're laying in bed saying, oh man, this is tough. Yeah, I know you. Some of you are like, well, I'm just a salesperson. Why do I? No, you need to know these things because that's what makes the difference. That's what will make the difference between you and all the other people that just show up and deal the surface. They you guys all know the metaphor between, the sailboat that goes up on the top of the water. He's like on the top of the water, nice and easy. And then the scuba diver, right? Or the submarine is under the water. They're deep. You want to be the scuba diver. You need to be going deep with your questions because that's when you find out what's really going on with people. So, and always be looking for a solution. Be solution based, right? I'm not a counselor. Okay. I'm not a psychologist, a psychiatrist. Well, sometimes I feel like I am, but my goal is to offer them a solution for their situation that they're in, not a solution for, the problems in their life. They may need to talk to somebody else for that, but I'm there as a professional to help them with the problem of selling their property. That's what I'm there for. Okay. I'm not there to be their best buddy, to go have dinners and lunches and all. No, I'm a professional and I'm there to bring them some solutions and some options to get the job done. As a matter of fact, here, let me give you one of my favorite lines for when I meet with somebody at their door. You're at the door. Write this down. It's a hack for you. When you meet somebody, you let them know, hey, I appreciate the opportunity to apply for the job of selling your home. That's how I start my listing presentation. I appreciate the opportunity. Like, I know you could have selected, there's hundreds of agents, thousands of real estate agents out there. And I appreciate the opportunity that you are letting me interview for the job, right? I'm telling them it's a job of selling your home. That's a strong way to start, friends. Strong way to start. Okay. And be on time. All right. I don't have to say enough about that. Do not be late. Not even a minute late. Be on time. All right. Always look for a solution and then stay top of mind. Okay. You got to stay top of mind with your clients. All right. What does that mean? It means when they think about real estate, they need to be thinking about you. Okay. So we do a lot with the chamber. We have a lot of chamber events. We do local, our local board of realtors. I'm involved with the board. I was at their awards event last week. Staying top of mind so people know who you are. The key has got to be when somebody thinks about selling their home, you want them to think about you, friend. You want them to think about you. You do that local. You also do that on social media. Are you posting on social media? Are you being consistent on social media? Do you have consistent messaging on social media and letting people know what it is that you do and how you can help them? It's critical. Absolutely critical. Okay, what about audio, video? Are you doing videos? Are you reaching out to your people? Are you sending people messages? Like we do these little things where we'll send somebody just a random video message. Like I literally just pull out my phone and send somebody a message. Hey, it's David. I know it's been a while. I hope you're doing great. Hey, I'd love to just connect with you, tell you what's going on in the real estate space. I always remind them that I'm in real estate. Sending a personalized message so they know you're not just sending a group email to 1,000 people and they're part of it, right? It's a personalized message where I'm using their name. They know it's personal to them. And then the other thing, the last block here represents being out in the community. Being out in the community, when you're at Starbucks, I used to work, and sometimes I'll go to Starbucks. There's a brand new Starbucks a couple miles from my house now. I'll go there sometimes, just work for a couple hours and just talk to people, get to know people. Hey, what's going on? Who are you? What do you do? Where do you work? Where are you coming in from? It's super cool. And then you see, and I met years ago, I met my financial advisor at Dunkin' Donuts. It's literally at Dunkin' Donuts. He was waiting in line for a coffee. I was waiting in line for coffee. I started talking to him. Next thing you know, we had lunch a couple weeks later. He's my financial advisor, and we must have done. He referred 8 home listings to me over the 5 or 6 years that I was with him for a financial advisor. So you just got to be out there talking to people, letting people know what it is that you do. Here are some ways to do that, and then I'm going to get you into some Q&A. Always schedule the next call. So anytime I have a conversation with somebody, I'm always planning what's next. Write that down. What's next? I want you to be thinking about that. Anytime, I have a conversation with you, Janine. I have a conversation with you, Levon, Ronaldo, Jose, Vince, Elizabeth. I have a conversation. As soon as I hang up the phone with you, I'm planning the next conversation. I don't just move on. I don't just hang up and move on. No, I add my notes and I plan what's next and I move on. Everything's added to the CRM. Now, it's not just going to be a phone call. It's a combination of emails, SMS messages, video SMSs, phone calls. This is what is the most effective. And every single time, 5 to 12 times, I got to follow up. Now, I know some are wow, 5 to 12, that's a lot. Yeah. But it's not when it's over time. And it's not when you're being intentional. And it's not when you're providing value, because the value is every time you're calling, you're providing some other level of value. So it's not just hey, it's David, I'm just following up again. Hey, Janine, it's David, just following up. Yep. Janine, David again, following up. Right? No, that doesn't work. That's why people run. I'm just following up. If you've ever done that, raise your hand. No, you don't have to raise your hand. But I'm sure all of us can relate to that, right? I was trained in the past that was it. Just calling to him, just following up. No, you want to call and you want to provide a different level of value every time you call. Let them know something that's going on in the neighborhood. Let them know something's going on in the market. Let them know about maybe a change in interest rate. Let them know about a new mortgage product, right? There's got to be something that you can provide value on. Think about that. That's why it says be intentional, Don't just call somebody and say, oh, I'm just following up. That's not intentional. When you're being intentional, you think, okay, you're looking at your notes, right? You're looking at your notes and you're saying, hey, the last time I talked to this guy, he was bringing his son to UMass Amherst to get checked in. That was, a year ago. So it would make sense to ask him about his son. How's he doing in school, right? How are things going? Great. Talk to me about the home. Talk to me about the dog, whatever your notes are, be intentional, provide value. Hey, the reason I'm giving you a call today, I don't know if you knew this or not, but right now inventory is at an all-time low in your area. And we have buyers, man. They're trying to come in for Dell. Dell is opening a shop here, and we got people willing to pay literally like 25, 30% over market value right now because they need to be here. I don't know if you knew that or not. Would you be open to selling? Again, what am I doing is I'm providing value. I'm connecting. I'm being intentional. I'm providing value. All right. And just remember, here's what the thing I want to leave you with. This is super, super important. All right. And we're going to get you to Q&A in a minute, and then we'll do some role play. I'd love somebody, if you have an objection you maybe want to throw out there, that's great. Bring it up. You don't provide a service unless they hire you. Think about that. The only way I can help somebody is if they hire me. If they don't hire me, there's nothing I can do. I'm not a charity. I'm not a nonprofit. This is how I get paid. This is how I earn my money. This is how I provide for my family, fund my life. So you got to realize that. I know so many of us, not just real estate agents, but in so many industries, you're like, oh gosh, I want to just provide free information and it's okay. And I want you to go into like, listen, the only way I can really, really help you. Sure, I can give you a free assessment. Great. Right. But the way I really help you is you hire me and then I give you everything. I give you everything. Okay. I can't give you everything for free because I have other clients that are willing to pay me for that. And I only have so much time. So you just got to get this one. Take a picture of this with your phone, put it on your wall, meditate on it, visualize on it. Just realize it's so, so critical. All right. Now, let me tell you my challenge here. All right. My challenge, all right, is, I only have so much time. Personally, I only have so much time. And, and one of the questions that I get asked most is, David, I want to get more listings in my market. Can you help me with that? And, personally, I can't always help. Some people I can, but most people I can't because there's a lot of things I do. I don't have a lot of time for one-on-one coaching anymore. I take on 4 clients at a time and that's it. And after that, I don't do any one-on-one. I just can't. I don't have time. But here's the cool thing is next week, we have a challenge coming up where I'm going to be working with a group of real estate agents, a group that's going to get together on a daily basis for 8 days and support each other and encourage each other. And so that's why I want to let you know that this is happening. So here's what I want to let you know. This 8-day challenge is set up now because it's bringing you right into the spring. We're going into the spring market in real estate. So you start next week. What you're going to do is you're going to put yourself in a position where you're talking to sellers every single day, a different type of seller. But you're not just talking to that seller that day. You're learning skills that are going to be with you for the rest of your life. Okay. And by the way, you're also getting access to a platform because everything's being recorded and put in a membership. So you get the learning, the skills, the tools, the scripts, the word tracks, everything is in that word track with the training. Everything is in the university. We're building this out. It's like a no-brainer. So this is happening next week. Now I want to let you know, there's 2 calls a day, by the way. Here's the person that should be committing to this. You're like, you know what? I want to focus on sellers. I want to figure out how to get some listings. I want to make my spring amazing because not only are you going to find a listing, but you're going to build a massive pipeline. Now this is for let's say you're brand new. That's cool. You're a brand new agent and you're like, you know what? I want to start with listings like I did. I went to the office. He gave me index cards and told me to start calling for sale by owners. I didn't know any better. He could have told me to do open houses and I would have done open houses. I was lucky. Okay, so this is for you. Or maybe you're somebody that's already taking listings and you're like, you know what, I know I can do more. I just got to figure out how to get in front of more people. Well, this is for you as well. Okay. Or maybe you're at that high level now and you're like, you know what, I'm doing good, but I know there's more. Like I said earlier, I know there's other ways of getting sellers, or maybe you've always done well, but now what you have been doing in the past is kind of drying up because it's a kind of a weird market right now, right? With inventory so low and interest rates so high and people not moving. I'd like some other ways of finding sellers. It's for you. So I want you to think about this. I want you to picture a day when you can confidently pick up the phone and call anybody with ease. Okay? Or picture a day, which is, this happened to somebody recently, like the other real estate agents in your office are coming up to you and saying, Ronaldo, how are you getting all these listings? What is going on? What has changed, right? Sue, how are you getting all these listings? Right? What are you doing different right now? Vince, what are you doing? Jose, Elizabeth, Levon, what right? I want seriously think about that. Or I want you to picture a day when you're nailing it. You have a pipeline full of listings. You have closings. You're able to go to the beach. You're able to take the vacation of your life. You're able to do what you choose to do. Well, that day can start right away. As a matter of fact, that day can start with you on Monday, because on Monday, we're going to be starting our challenge. And you have an opportunity right now to join, but there are limited seats. So not everybody's going to have an opportunity to be able to join the challenge. So I'm going to get you guys ready. I'm going to open it up for questions in a minute. I just want to share this last story with you. It was 2017, and I had joined a group of real estate agents for it was a 1-year mastermind. It was the investment wasn't a lot. It was like $18,000 for the 1-year mastermind investment. And on the first meeting, we all got together and we were all given a health track. And the track was it was either you had to do yoga, which I thought was pretty easy. It was HIIT, which is it stands for high interval and high intensity interval training. And then the third was was Ironman race, which made no sense to me whatsoever. It was like, that's stupid, Ironman race. So I did what was easy. I picked the HIIT. And then by the third day of being there with the group, the person who was leading it just kept telling everybody, go to the next level. You got to go to the next level. You can do more. You can do more, right? And so on the last day, I just said, okay, I agreed. I went I went from the HIIT, high intensive interval training, to the Ironman race, 70.3. Now I want you to realize I didn't have a bike and no bike, and I hardly knew how to swim, but I did it. I agreed to it. And I actually felt pretty good about my decision until the first time I went and I swam one single lap, my friends. One. I don't know if we have any swimmers in the house. Now I'm a swimmer, by the way. But back then I was not a swimmer. I did one 25-meter lap across the pool, right? That's like 80 feet. And I thought I was going to die. Like, I was drinking pool water. I could not believe how difficult that was. I'm holding on to the edge at the deep end of the pool, and I'm thinking to myself, and like I'm a numbers guy, so I'm thinking, in order to do this race, I would have to go back and forth 84 times. I just did one, and I feel like this, and in my mind, I said, impossible. I told myself it's impossible. I got out of the pool. I went. I called my wife, and I said, hon, I got to get out of this. I got to get out of this thing. And my wife's super supportive. She's like, oh my God, David, you can do anything you set your mind to it. I was like, all right, I'm just not going anywhere. So I hung up. I called Adam, the guy that signed us all up. And he said, stop being a little B word that I'm not going to use and hire a coach. I said, what? He said, a swim coach, and hung up on me. This is how Adam is. I miss Adam. But anyway, I went to the YMCA front counter, and they had a guy named Joel. So they connected me with Joel. The next day, Joel met me at the pool, and he watched me swim down and hang on to the edge for dear life. And then he gave me some instruction and had me swim back the other way and gave me time to catch my breath. And then he gave me some more instruction and told me some things to get. Had me, he was there with me for like 45 minutes. And then he says, okay, I want you to practice for the next couple of days, and I'll be back here on Thursday. I want you to meet me back Thursday. Now, I'll tell you the first thing that went through my mind was, well, hold on. This session just cost me $80. He just gave me all the information. I can figure this out on my own. That was my first thought. Like, oh, you don't need to come back Thursday. I already just paid you $80. But I didn't say that. I said, okay, I'll see you on Thursday. So the next couple of days, I showed up at the pool. I did my thing. I did the things he told me to practice. And he got there, and I was proud. I swam down to the other end of the pool and held on. He said, okay, great. I want you to swim back to the other end. And I swam back to the other end of the pool. And I was just about to grab the end of the pool. And he says, I want you to swim back to the other end. And I was like, now? He's like, yeah, right now. So I'm like, okay. And I'm out of breath. But I turn around and I swim back to the other end of the pool. And I'm like, holy cow, I may actually make it back to the other end of the pool. And I'm really out of breath now, and I'm struggling a little bit, and I'm starting to take in some nasty pool water, and I'm just about to grab the end, and he's standing there looking at me. He's like, go back to the other end. And I was like, I can't. He said, go back. And he yelled right in my face, go back. You can do it. He said. And I turned and I literally like panicked, and then turned around and started pulling myself back. And in about a quarter of the way back, I literally thought I was going to drown. Like, I'm like, holy cow, I may drown today in this YMCA pool. But I kept just dragging myself. It was the most horrible thing. And then I realized I wasn't even the water wasn't even over my head anymore. And then I pulled myself all the way back to the other end, and I made it. And guys, listen to this. I just did 4 laps. 3 days earlier, I had done 1 lap and was ready to quit. 1 lap, I was ready to quit. Okay, I just did 4 laps without stopping. 4 weeks later, I did 16 laps without stopping. It was a miracle. God wanted me to swim, right? It was like a miracle. But here's the reason I share the story with you. This whole process with Joel lasted about 3 months. 3 months with Joel. And then eventually I hired Courtney, who was a full triathlon coach. Courtney was amazing. She got me. But if it didn't start with Joel, I would have never made it to Courtney. I would have never made it through this process. Okay. And this is what I want to share with you guys. And I think that's why I love this story. And it's such an important story, because I truly believe now that I could have done this race the first time. The first time in the pool, I would believe that I could have done the 4 laps, but I didn't. Why? Because nobody was there to push me. I didn't have anybody like Joel in the pool there telling me, you can do it. You can do another lap. You can get there. There was nobody doing that for me. So what did I have to do? Is I had to try to rely on myself. And then when I hired Joel, that was when everything changed for me. So it wasn't really listen, Joel helped me. He pushed me. He showed me that I could do something that I thought was impossible. Remember, I was going to quit. Day 1, I was going to quit. You guys remember that, right? I was going to quit. I said, there's no way I can do this. This is impossible. I called my wife. I said, hon, I got to get out of this. But no, I called Adam. He said, call Joel. Joel pushed me to do things that I thought were impossible. Okay, Joel pushed me to do things, and it didn't just show up in this race. Okay, it didn't here. Let me show you this. It didn't just show up here. Okay, it didn't just show up here. This is the middle one. The middle one's the race I finished. That's the finish line at Lake Placid, New York. 70.3 Ironman, 6 hours and I believe it was 6 hours and 52 minutes later. That's me crossing the finish line. All right. that happened because Joel was willing to push me further than I believed I could go. And then if you look at the left side, that's last year. That's me in New Jersey, Jones Beach, New York. Okay. Long Island, not New Jersey, Long Island, New York, crossing the finish line right there. Raised $10,000 for kids' cancer. Why? Because Joel met me in that pool and pushed me to do things that I believed were impossible. So what I want to do is I want to challenge you right now that you can do more than you believe. You can do more, but what you need is somebody there to push you, somebody there to guide you, somebody there to show you the way. Now you have an opportunity in front of you right now to join this 8-day challenge. And by the way, I'm giving you a code. The only people that get that code are people that are in our community. Get the $50 off. I made the price so low, it's a no-brainer. Like $297 to join us for 8 days of training and then get access to a full training. When you're done, everything's recorded. It's put in a membership site. So you still have access to it for a year. All this. And you get to take $50 off today too as a bonus of taking action here on this webinar. This is the webinar bonus. All right, so everything there, this is a no-brainer. Again, this is about accountability. This is about helping you get to the next level, about taking the right actions. Having somebody in your corner like Joel that's willing to push you a little bit further than you're going to go on your own. Or maybe for some of you, a lot of bit further than you're willing to go on your own. So I want you guys to know it's there. I did tell you I'm going to open it up for Q&A, which I'm going to do. All right, those are some clients, some past clients that have gone through it. I do want to just share this with you because as I said, when I was going through the presentation, I told you that seeing, it's not just about, what I say, but it's about what customers are saying, right? Or past clients. So I'm going to watch this and then we're going to open it up for Q&A. All right. I want you to watch this video. Let me see. Just give me a thumbs up.
Not only me get more listings,
thumbs up,
but my team as well.
I can't say enough about his coaching.
He makes sure you show up and do the work. I went from 3 months ago from not knowing how to cold call to now I finally feel comfortable with this.
In order to grow your business, in order to grow your agent's business, it's important to rely on people that know more than you. Quite often you get stagnant. You want to grow, but you just don't know how to grow, which is why I reached out to David Hill.
Just the first 6 months of 2021, I have officially taken 21 listings.
7 calls a day, finding that accountability, having that group accountability, and also David's guidance throughout the process, from his videos to his worksheets to his scripts. If you put in the work, you'll definitely get the results.
I had been with other coachings before. What David was able to do was really to focus us. When you're inside the jar, you can't read the label, but meaning someone from David's perspective that's outside of the jar and can look back into our business and say, look, man, this is where you guys have to be focused on.
Each week we could see development and growth. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters in people's lives. If you're not growing, if you're not developing, you're not moving forward. I renewed my contract. David is still my coach, and I'm looking forward to seeing the continued growth in my business and my agent's business because of the help and guidance of David Hill.
David really helped us to pull it together with accountability, with focus. I think all of us as agents kind of know what to do and maybe even know how to do it, but it's getting out of your own way and getting that focus, getting that accountability. And that's where I see David really, we wouldn't have got here without him.
We all want to obviously be successful financially, but at the same time, we also want to have a life. David also teaches you how to have a life as well.
I'm now able to exclusively focus on listings, which gives me more time to travel, more time to spend time with family. It's been a really, really awesome 6 months. Thanks, David.
Every player has to have someone in their corner like that to be a champion. And so I think if someone thinks that's the kind of coach I want, someone that can get me to my best version of me, David's your man.
All right. Hey, listen, I love showing that. Why? Because it's what other people are saying. It's not about what I'm saying. You guys have heard me for the last, 40 minutes or so talk about all the things, but now you're hearing from other people, real people that got real results. Mike Wiseman's team broke 100 transactions with us. Matt's team, same thing. He has a brokerage. They were closing over 100 transactions. Some of these guys got to 30 transactions, 36 trans. So it's really where you at in your business, and we're going to help you get to that next level. So a cool, inexpensive way to do that right now, a place to start is to join the challenge. Sam, if you could drop the link again in the chat to the challenge. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up for questions. So if you have a question, please, in the chat, just you can either drop your question in the chat, or you can also let me know you want to come up, and I will invite you into the stream. So if you want to come up, drop something in the chat. You have a question. Let's see if we have any questions on Clubhouse. Anybody on Clubhouse, if you have a question, raise your hand now, my friends on Clubhouse. Anybody have any questions? We've got some great people. Hey, we got Terrence is in the house. I haven't seen Terrence in a while. Good to see you, man. Larry, Beth. Okay. Well, we're not getting a lot of questions. So I know Janine always has great questions. I'm going to invite you in. What's going on, Janine? How are you?
Hi, I just typed it and didn't get to answer.
I don't think it showed up yet. I wonder if this. Oh, I see it now. It does say that. Okay.
I need to work on closing.
Yeah.
That hard last question. When you know that they just want to try and get rid of you, they don't really want to do it. I freeze up.
Say that again. Say it again. So I'm clear on what you're asking.
It's the close. It's when you've asked the questions and it seems like they're going down this road, but you can sense that they're backing away. And how do you get that nerve? How do you ask that hard question, that closing question?
Yeah, I love that question that you brought up. And you know what I'm going to do? Excuse me. I'm going to bring you right back to one of the slides. Okay. Is that all right?
Yeah.
See, I'm going to bring you right back to the slides that we remember. This one right here for everybody on here. Remember this particular slide, this is the one that it starts with you. Okay. And then there's another slide in here that I'm going to bring you to. All right. So I want you to think about this one first. And then there's another one that you guys will remember. It was near the end. And let me show you. Remember this one right here? This is important. Okay. Remember this slide right here? What does that say?
Remember that you don't provide a service unless they hire you.
That's right. So when it comes to them pushing back, are you more concerned about them pushing back from you, or are you more concerned about helping them?
Right.
Because we can't help everybody, unfortunately. But there are some people that we can help. And again, that's why I showed you the you first, because when you're convicted enough and you are so confident in what it is that you do, you will ask again, because you know the only way you can help them is if they use you. You know, there was a girl on our team, Michelle. Ironically, I ran into Michelle last week at the awards banquet. And, you know, she remembered this lesson. As a matter of fact, she told me she uses it as training too. There was a time she was on my team. She came into the team meeting and she was all upset. And we were like, "What's the matter, Michelle?" Because she's a very nice lady. What's the matter? She's like, this seller, this person that's part of the PTA, she's in a tough transaction with another agent. And I said, "Well, why is she in a tough transaction with another agent?" And she's like, "She hired this other agent." And I said, no, that's not the question I'm asking. Why is she with another agent? Never mind the tough transaction. Why is she not with you? And she's like, "Well, I didn't like to, kind of, intrude on people, or, push the fact that I'm in real estate at the meetings and blah, blah, blah." So the other person didn't even know Michelle was a realtor. So I said, "Michelle, if she was with you, would she be in that same situation?" She said, "Absolutely not." And to Michelle, that was her wake up moment, that moving forward, she realized that anybody that was with another person was in a disservice. They were doing themselves a disservice. I need you to have conviction like that. Conviction. Does that make sense? You want to have the conviction where you know that you're helping somebody, and the only way you can help them is if they hire you. And it's okay if they don't hire you, Janine. That's the difference. It's okay. Like, you've seen me, right? Like, if I talk to 10 people, 8 of them don't do business with me. That's okay. 2 do, and the 2 do that get tremendous results.
Right.
I'm okay with the other 8. That's sales. You got to figure out how to be okay with the fact that you just can't help everybody. Not everybody's your client. And that's why when we do this 8-day challenge, it's not like, okay, everybody's going to get 80 listings. No, you're probably not going to get 80 listings. You'll probably get 1 or 2 listings during the challenge, and you'll have a pipeline if you talk to 100 people during the 8 days, because it's a numbers game. Does that help?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, and it's good to hear it over and over again.
yeah. So again, make it about the other person and not about you. It's not about me. Because then it becomes personal. And when it becomes personal, it's tough, right? Like it's not about you. It's about the other person. So thank you for that great question. Hope that was helpful.
Yes.
Any takeaway from that? What was your takeaway from that?
I have a solution, I have the answer, and I have to find the right people who need it. And I can't be concerned about what they think about me at the moment when it's time for me to ask them.
Yeah, I love that. 100%.
I have to just remember that.
All right. Before we wrap, do we have any other final questions? Any other final questions before we wrap? I've got a couple more minutes. Do we have any? Let me look at the Clubhouse group. All right. We don't have any. We have no questions. Well, I appreciate you guys on Clubhouse listening in. It looks like there's about 35 people, by the way, listening here on X. So 33 people. That's awesome. So again, final thoughts, final chance for questions. Appreciate you being here. Jose, Levon, Ronaldo, Janine, David. You know, it's funny too, because, you know, think about, here's something I want to just put out there. And I'm not trying to be mean, but you know, that we had about, I don't know, we had 40 or so people sign up. We had about 20 something people jump in here in the green room. And as soon as you start talking about like helping people with the challenge, what happened? Half the people just left. It's kind of sad. Like you don't want to invest. Someone starts talking about how you can invest in yourself now, a couple $100 and go out there and spend and take some listings and you leave. I mean, I don't know. It's I don't want to sound mean, but it's like, yeah, why wouldn't you go invest in yourself? So again, I just want to let you guys know there's the opportunity, okay, for you guys that are still here. We're going to send this out to take advantage of it. We have a few seats left. You get to spend 8 days with us. You get to have somebody like Joel, like me, be there for you, help you, push you, guide you, give you the tools you need. So you can have an awesome spring. You can have an awesome summer. You know, if you don't have $297 to do this, or it's $50 off. So if $247, I told someone this yesterday. If you don't have $247 to do this, then that's even more reason why you need to figure out how to go out there and get $247 and do this. Like, that's exactly why you need to do this. If you have a real estate license and you can't just, like, literally, I'm not saying throw away $247, but like, because, you know, I sign up for things just because. If something sounds intriguing to me, I'll sign up for it. You know, so I want to put you guys in a place where $247 is nothing. That's the point of this, where somebody says, you mentioned, okay, you know what? Even if I show up one day, good, I got my value from it. Like, that's but we don't want you showing up one day. We want you to be there every day of the 8 days, because that's what you get the most value from. And I know some of you are going to say, well, my schedule, well, you know what? Move things around, make it work. Okay. Mm-hmm. We can figure it out. You know, here's the thing. When you commit, make the commitment, and then you'll figure everything else out. Yeah, I know it's never going to be perfect. The stars are never going to line up, and the light's just going to come down. It's going to, and everything's going to be no, it doesn't work like that. We got to move things around. We got to make adjustments. You may not even be able to show up for one day. Cool. You'll get the recordings. But you got to get in the game, my friends. You got to get in the game. So, Janine, I appreciate you always getting engaged. Thank you for coming up. And that's it, everybody. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you being here. Congratulations for investing your time. I look forward to seeing some of you. I see a couple of you already registered. Congratulations. That's awesome for the challenge. I know we have a few seats left, and we're coming. I mean, it's Thursday. It's coming up next Monday. So take advantage of it. You guys rock, and we'll see you on the next webinar. Have a great rest of your day.